Maine South Hawks for the conference championship. New Trier trying to do something they haven't done in 18 years, win back-to-back Central Suburban South Conference championships. Maine South, the newest member of the Central Suburban League South Conference, having moved over from the North, where they were conference champions last year. So there's a lot on the line here. Both teams come in with they do not come in with identical records. Well, identical season records of 7-1. Not identical conference championship records. Maine South in second place with the lone loss to Evanston. The kick away, it's deep, and taken in the end zone. That's an automatic touchback in high school. Ryan Spellman with the reception in the end zone, and we're ready to get underway. So first play from scrimmage coming up. Matt Loddick will come out, and we'll officially start this little bugger. Glad to have you here on the network. We'll follow both football and soccer through the playoffs, assuming their victories. To the far side, Mark Powell picks up about a yard, maybe two. Let's call it two. Second down and 8. And now we'll make it 1. Second down and 9. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Glad to have you on the network, all of you down the line. Matt Loddick has somewhat uncharacteristically, quietly put up some pretty good numbers now on the year. Pass is complete to Tom Duda. And that's good for a first down. Trevians have a first and 10 out beyond the 30 at about the 31-yard line. New Trier and Maine South are both already into the playoffs. And it will be merely a question of where they end up here. It should be also, Loddick is going to work out a shotgun here. Also will have something to do with the number of points Gary's dropped in the backfield. A loss of about 3 or 4. We'll call it 4. Second down and 14. And the Trevians actually going to come out about number 5 in 6A. About 5th place in 6A. Loddick back to pass. Loddick throws complete. And out of bounds, Blake McLeod, rather. Little problems here with our focus on the camera. There's some of the Maine South contingent. They got the wind in their face added to everything here, so it's going to be rather nasty. Third down and 5. Loddick back to pass. Loddick to the near side. Looking, stops, throws long, and complete into the teeth of that wind. Patrick Newmeyer had to come back to the 25 in order to pick that up. Pretty strong wind blowing kind of from the northwest right now. And Newmeyer had to come back to get it. A little bit of a dive. Trevians have it. First and 10 at about the 25-yard line. There's the handoff. And a pickup of about 2 or 3 make it.
Brought down by number 28.
Matt Loddick at quarterback. The pass complete to Dan Weiner at the 16-yard line. Geary comes out. Third down, 1 yard to go.
16-yard line.
Third and 1 from the 16. Handoff. First down to this side. Powell on the run is brought down at about the 4-yard line. We'll make it the 5 where he first stuck his knee. No, it is going to be the 4. First and goal to go for the Trevians at the 4. What is that? Oh, elbow pad. First and goal to go for the Trevians. First series from kickoff. Loddick back to pass. Throws through the hands. Incomplete. Intended for Bobby Teton in the end zone. And that'll bring up a second down. And 4 for the touchdown. Loddick hands it off to Powell. Powell's brought down immediately. And that brings up third and 4. Maybe lost a little bit there.
Third and goal from the 4.
Third and goal. Pitch back, Loddick to the side. Geary threw it into the wind. Loddick slipped and fell, incomplete. And it's fourth down. Ryan Lynch on to try for the field goal. The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Trevians on the board, 7:19 left to play. And the Trevians lead 3-0. Down, and the Maine South Hawks will take over from the 32-yard line, or make it the 27-yard line, their own. Maine South has a couple of receivers, only one real running back, and a couple of receivers that Chris Schutt, the quarterback, likes to go to. There's a handoff, got nowhere. Stacked up immediately, maybe even lost a yard. Lost about a half yard.
Rick Simnick, the ball carrier.
We'll call it second down and 10.5. The new Trier Trevians have quietly put together, and I do mean actually quietly, some pretty good numbers. Not much there. Ryan Spellman, the sophomore, brings him down at the 29-yard line. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Glad to have you here on the network.
Gain of 2 on the play. Third down, 8.
Third and 8.
Ball's on the 29-yard line.
For the Maine South Hawks. Back to pass, looking, throws, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Simon Burke on the coverage. And that'll bring up a fourth down. And the Maine South Hawks will kick it away.
will kick it away from Maine South.
Back deep, Tommy Geary for the Trevians. The snap, the kick away, and Geary takes it at the 40, gets by one, gets past another, and gets into Maine South territory at about the 49-yard line. Great job by Geary. 2 missed tackles in there by Maine South. Before we get to the next series, let's take a break. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network, and we'll be back with more. Lodick brings him out of the huddle. Trevians have the ball on the Maine South 48-yard line. Lodick hands off to Spellman. Spellman, not much there. About 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8.
Brought down by Steve McCauley.
Spellman, did I say? Mark Powell, the ball carrier.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down, 8.
Mark Powell, the ball carrier, picked up about 2. Lodick rolls out, throws, and overthrows his intended receiver, Blake McLeod, at about the 40-yard line. This is the first truly cold evening that we've had all season, although it's mostly wind chill that is making it rather brisk. It is not as bad as I thought it would be up here in the press box, up on top of the press box. And illegal procedure against the Trevians. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but somebody jumped over there.
Flags down on the play.
5:11 left to play here in the first quarter.
Illegal procedure against New Trier.
And I'm not sure exactly who it was, but somebody jumped over there. We won't embarrass them by doing a replay. 3rd and 14.
Ball's on the 48-yard line of New Trier.
On the 48. Loss of 5, of course. Lodick again works out of the shotgun. Back to pass. In trouble. Throws. Complete. To Dan Weiner at the 35-yard line. That'll give the Trevians a first down. First and 10 for the Trevians. And Tommy Geary picks up about a yard or 2. Picks up a yard. 2nd down and 9. And then Trevians on the move. Get down inside the...
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down, 9.
Gets down inside the 35 to about the 34. Lodick back to pass. Lodick in trouble, and down he goes.
Lodick is brought down behind the line.
A loss of 5.
Line number 43.
And that'll bring up 3rd down and 14. As Lodick gets sacked. He tried to step up, didn't have anywhere to go, though.
13.
I think Matt probably would have done better just to roll out instead of trying to stand in the pocket. Lodick back to pass. Screen pass. And Powell has it. 40. Avoids a tackle. Nice open field running. Gets a first down inside the 20. Down to about the 17-yard line. Mark Powell with a nice job on the screen pass of some open field running there. All inside the 20 at the 17. First and 10 for the Trevs. Hand off to Powell, and Mark Powell gets inside the 15 down to about the 14-yard line. The Trevians, following their opening game disaster, have come alive and started doing some of the things they need to do. Tommy Geary gets inside the 5, goes down at about the 4-yard line. Once again, the Trevians knocking at the door at the 4.
Brought down by DeLua.
First and goal to go for the Trevians at the 4-yard line.
9-yard line. Question 4-yard line.
This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Loddick has him on the move. Gary, touchdown. New Trier. Tommy Gary. Right through the hole and in. With an opportunity here to make it 10-0 early on. The snap, high one, bad one, and the kick is no good. 2:14 left to play, 9-0. Favor of the Trevians. Here's the kick by Ryan Lynch. Relatively short into that win. And brought down at about the 38-yard line. 38 and a half, maybe 39. First and 10 for the Maine South Hawks at the 39-yard line, it looks like. No, he's right, 38 and a half. Newest member of the Central Suburban League South. Maine South. Good spin move. Picked up another yard off that. And that brings up second down and about 6. Second and 6 for the Maine South Hawks. Over the 40-yard line at about the 42 and a half. You can hear that window rustling around up there. Pass is complete into Trevian territory at about the 49-yard line. And that'll be good for a first down for the Maine South Hawks at the 49. This is kind of interesting matchup here. Two quarterbacks known for their passing abilities. I was talking to the reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times, and he says he's been around watching all the quarterbacks in the area, you know, as he's assigned to the various games, and he says that Matt Loddick is the best that he's seen in the Chicago area. I'm not saying that I'm saying that. I want everyone to understand that. I'm not saying that. That is what the Sun-Times reporter said. To the outside. Not much there. Tried to bounce outside. Picked up about 2. As we are winding down the first quarter here. Third down, about 3. Handoff, and they busted that one up. Fourth down.
Brought down by Blake McLeod.
And Blake McLeod, or was that Peter Norton? Whatever, we're at the end of the first quarter. Trevians leading it 9-0, and we'll be back with more football action in just a moment here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. And the kick away to start the second quarter, off helmet, and Maine South recovers at the 10. Gary called for the fair catch, and it bounced up and hit him in the helmet and grazed off him at the 10. So the Trevians an inadvertent goof here has given Maine South excellent field position at the 10-yard line. The handoff, trying to bounce to the outside, got nowhere. Maybe to the original line of scrimmage, but that's about all. And looked like Naughton and Jordan Kruger there do block the advance.
Second down, goal from the 9.
Second and goal from the 9 for the Hawks. Trailing 9-0 early on. The handoff, and in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Maine South.
Now the kick is up, and it is good.
And it's good.
Well, a lot of time left in this one. Conference championship on the line. Maine South and the new Trier Trevians. Maine South comes in with a record of 3-1. New Trier with a record of 4-0 into this game for the conference. I guess next year they were telling me that they're going to cut down the number of cross-division games so that there will not be as many games between New Trier and teams like Niles North and Glenbrook North and Deerfield, so forth. Highland Park. The kick away. Taken at about the 10. Oh, big hole. And Ryan Spellman gets it up to the 35, the sophomore. With a pretty good run back. Pretty good hole opened up by the special teams line. And Loddick takes over from the 35 with the Trevian offense. Loddick drops back. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Patrick Newmeyer on that far side. 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Well, big game, one of the big games around the area tonight. Powell picks up about a yard. And Tom Duda hurt. I think that's the shoulder again. I think he popped out the shoulder again. So Tom Duda helped off the field. Re-injured that shoulder of his. Loddick along the line, looking, throws cross. Complete, fumble, and recovered by Maine South. Complete to Tom Gary, and then Gary fumbled it. Trying to bring it into his body. And it's 1st and 10 for Maine South at the at the Maine South 47.5-yard line. So a turnover, and Maine South has the football back. The pass was complete, and then fumbled. Handoff, trying to back his way for a yard, and succeeded in doing that. 2nd down and 9 for the Hawks. Brad Bauman with the stop.
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down, 9.
The New Trier students over here on the near side playing at Trevian Field at New Trier West now, instead of old Phelps Field at New Trier East. Novak gets up to the 44-yard line, but the flag on the play, and that's going to come back. It's holding against Maine South. Back along the line. So we'll walk it off, and we'll replay the down. 2nd down and 21, it looks like. Second down and 21.
2nd down, 21.
Handoff, nowhere. Dropped behind the line.
Novak the ball carrier. Brought down by Blake McLeod, Tommy Gary, and Peter Naughton.
And 2nd down and 23 now. 3rd down and 23. Or if you prefer, 3rd down in the Lake County line. Got to get up to the North 40. Shut. Back to pass. In trouble. Scrambling for his life. Will run it up to the far side. And will not even get back to the original line. Maybe just back to that line. And it's 4th down and 23. And the
Morgan Baker and Cam Wilson.
Maine South Hawks will have to kick it away. Once again, Tom Geary drops back. There's a pretty good wind blowing into the teeth of anything hit in the air. Coming in from the north, kind of north-northwest across the field, but sort of in the faces. And falls short from that wind, out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. So the Trevians have 1st and 10 at the 49. 8:08 to play here in the quarter. Trevians out. Loddick at quarterback. 8:08 to play. Loddick back to pass. Loddick stops, throws long, and overthrown. The New Trier faithful complaining. I think they wanted a pass interference on a hold as Newmeyer tried to go downfield. 2nd down and 10. They said the 49. It's really the 50-yard line. There wasn't much of a punt, but again, that wind is going to be a big factor in this one. You really want to be going south instead of north today. Loddick hands it off to Tommy Geary. Geary rumbles ahead, gets the 1st down. Inside the 40 at about the 39-yard line.
On the 39-yard line.
And 1st and 10 for the Trevs. It's really going to help a long-distance passer, that wind, for somebody like Loddick. Can really get some good-sized wind on that. Powell turns the corner, but lost his footing and got about 8 yards. Mark Powell comes off, as does Mark Vandeveld.
Ball's on the 32-yard line.
Second down and 2 for the Trevs. To the far side, pass complete, and down goes Weiner on the slippery footing at the 25-yard line. First and 10 for the Trevians at the Maine South 25. Like I said, with this wind blowing at the back of a quarterback going to the south side there, a passer like Loddick that on his own can get 50 yards on a pass. If he can get those receivers out there, can really let loose a pretty good-sized bomb. Loddick back to pass. Up the middle, pass incomplete. Intended for Blake McLeod. A little bit behind him. Second and 10. Loddick gets the signal. Whoops. No, they said they didn't cross the line. Back to pass. Pass is complete. Fumble. And Maine South has recovered at the 19. Pass was complete to Patrick Newmeyer, and then the fumble at the 19-yard line. Maine South has recovered the fumble. While we have a break, let's take a break. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Well, welcome back. All set. They are having a problem finding the football over on that far side. That's actually the Maine South football. A proper game ball over there. Second quarter. Trevians scored first. We're leading 9-0, and then the first play of the second quarter here. An accidental touch by the Trevians gave Maine South the ball at the 10-yard line. And they went in. Beyond that, Maine South has not really gotten very much at all on the ground. Or in the air, for that matter. But a couple of turnovers here in the second quarter have presented an opportunity for Maine South, and prevented New Trier from scoring. And the score is close at this point. Up to the 21-yard line. Not much there. Bobby Teaton now into the lineup again. Bobby with that state qualifying speed. I assume they're looking at a passing situation. Want a little better height, a little better speed. Back to pass is shut. He throws over here to the near side. Pass is complete. And out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
The Maine South first down.
And it is first and 10 for Maine South. handoff. Got nowhere.
Norman, the ball carrier.
Norman, the ball carrier. Got to the
and Patrick Newmeyer.
Original line.
No gain on the play. Second down, 10.
Second and 10. Didn't gain anything. Tripped up. Nice job by the Trevian defense. Back to pass a shot. He's in trouble. Comes to the near side and wham! Morgan Baker comes over and hammers him. Shot again, back to pass. Screen pass, incomplete. And that'll bring up a fourth down. And that screen. That'll bring up a 4th and 10. And Tom Geary once again back. The snap, the kick away, and fair caught by Tom Geary at the 33-yard line. That's where the Trevians take over. 1st and 10 at their own 33. Still leading 9-7. Conference championship on the line here today. Wladek. Hands off to Powell. And Powell picks up about 2. Second down and 8.
Gain of 2 on the play. Second down, 8. Ball is on the 35-yard line.
The new Trier Trevians trying to do something they haven't done in 18 years. Win back-to-back conference championships. Wladek steps up the middle, pass complete to Patrick Newmeyer, and he's hit immediately, but got up to about the 42-yard line.
Brought down by Mike Rizzo.
It brings up a 3rd down and about 3, about 2.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and less than a yard.
No, make it a yard. Okay, 3rd and 1. Wladek with the keeper, still on his feet. And Wladek keeps charging and gets across the 45 to the 46-yard line. It was just a quarterback sneak. And Wladek kept his feet moving and picked up about 3 yards on the play. Wladek back to pass, looking, throws, complete to Newmeyer. And he's wrestled out of bounds at the 42-yard line of the Maine South Hawks.
Another nuclear first down.
And another Trevian first down inside Maine South territory. The Trevian's probably going to come in about point totals about 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th. On the overall points. Wladek hands it off to Mark Powell. Powell on spinning effort gets down to the 35-yard line. And a timeout taken. Minute 55 left to play here in the quarter. And the Trevians take a timeout. Now we are ready once again. Under the lights at New Trier West. Lottie back to pass. Steps up, throws long, complete touchdown. Bobby Teton. A 45-yard touchdown pass. Lottie in the air, 45-yarder to Bobby Teton for the touchdown. 5 yards in the air. Atlantic with the wind in his back. Told you that was going to be a factor today. And it is good. On the point after. And with the break of the action before we get the kickoff, we'll take a quick break and be right back. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Welcome back. There we are in the proceedings as we get set for the kickoff following the Trevians touchdown to give them the lead here, 16-7. 9-point Trevian lead as the teams have exchanged touchdowns now here in the quarter. That's kick here, relatively short. Bobby Teton ran over the man at the 41-yard line. They're those warming gloves for Matt Lottie. Fish shut. The quarterback for Maine South. Back to pass, looking, throws long, and right through the hands of Matt Loddick. Incomplete. Loddick on the coverage. And the size. The pass a bit overled. Intended for one of the primary receivers for Chris Shutt. Bob Westman. And it is second down and 10 for Maine South. Winding down the first half. And off. Couple of yards and managed to stay on his feet. Get some pretty good yardage out of that. And finally, eventually brought down by Morgan Baker. And that'll bring up a third down. And about 2.
Ball's on the 43-yard line.
3rd and 2. Hand off. Trying to go for the first. He won't get it. Just a little bit short of it.
And Naughton.
Fourth down. And 1. And it looks like about a half. And Maine South just not going to risk anything here. Going to kick it away.
Tommy Gary has dropped deep for his career.
The kick away. And the ball down again at about the 33-yard line. And once again, the Trevians will take over. I would think they'll probably just down this thing. 1 play left. 1 or 2. And they look like they're going to down it. That is the case, and that's the end of the first half. With the score, the Trevians leading it 16-9. We'll be back with more football action in just a moment here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. We'll be back with more. Second half of this game. Trevians leading it. And the opening kickoff of the second half. High. And finally picked up by Spellman at the 3. And he gets up to about the 13-yard line. First and 10 for the Trevians at the 13. There's the microwave link. CLTV here. Going to do a live shot, I would assume. Seeing how they have the microwave link of the truck over there on that far side. A beautiful evening, but a bit brisk. Typical football weather. Powell dances to the outside, breaks tackle, and gets up to about the 38-yard line. Nice run by Mark Powell.
Brought down by James Goodrich.
At the 38-yard line, and the Trevians have a first and 10 right away. Newmeyer to the near side, Weiner to the far side. Little flare down the sideline, no. Pass intended for Newmeyer, and he couldn't shake the receiver and make the catch at the same time. Ball bounces off his hands. And it is second and 10 for the Trevs. Second and 10 for the Trevs. Handoff. And Powell picks up about 7 and makes it 3rd and 3 for the Trevs. 3rd and 3 for the Trevians at their own 45-yard line. Third and 3. Wadig hands it off to Tommy Geary. Geary goes to the outside, gets the first down, and some pretty good yardage on the end of that. And finally out of bounds at the 35 of the Maine South Hawks. 20-yard gain for Tom Geary. Managed to turn the corner. And the gain. In the Maine South territory now at the 35-yard line. The handoff to Powell. Again, Powell on the outside. Gets some nice yardage before finally being crashed at about the 28-yard line.
86 on the play, second down 4.
Second and 4 for the Trevians at the 28-yard line. Weiner in motion. They hand off to Powell, and he tries to strong arm his way ahead. And he picked up maybe
Brought down by Ken Crypto.
maybe a yard. Yard and a half.
Gain of a yard on the play, third down 3.
3rd and 3 for the Trevs. 3rd and 3. Newmeyer on the near side, Weiner on the far. Powell and Geary. A little flare pass over to the far side, incomplete. And that was intended for Dan Weiner.
A lot of passes incomplete. It was intended for Dan Weiner. Fourth down 3.
4th and 3. Tom Geary on. Trevians look like they're going to go for it here. And the Trevians going to take a timeout and regroup. I think that's the seating. Loddick rolls to the far side, gets the first down, and out at about the 15-yard line. He stepped out at the 15. First and 10 for the Trevs at the 15-yard line. So Loddick scampers over to the 15 and gets the first down. First and 10 for the Trevs. Pass incomplete, a little overlet, intended for Patrick Newmeyer. Over on the near side, again a rolling pass by Loddick. And sometimes a little hard to judge when you got a wind blowing in your face. Handoff. Mark Powell, the ball carrier, picked up about 2. And that will bring up a third down. And they'll call it 1.5. But we'll, for numbers' sake, call it 2. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Trevs. 3rd and 8 for the Trevians. Loddick fakes it, now throws. Incomplete. Intended for Bobby Teaton, a little bit underled. And Teaton unable to hold on. Nice fake on the part of Matt Loddick. He faked, he certainly did a great job of faking out the Maine South Hawks to give him a little more time. And with a 4th down and 8, Trevian's going to try for a field goal here. Ryan Lynch on. About a 36-yarder. 31-yarder. Up and good. And with 8:39 left to play here in the 3rd quarter, Trevian's leading by 12. Time's a wasting for the Trevs. The kick, again short, and gets up to the 35, but he recovered it on a fumble on the end of that. But I guess they're saying he was down anyway. The ground caused the fumble. First and 10 for the Hawks of Maine South. Chris Shutt, the quarterback, has had his troubles today. Handoff. And finally brought down after a yard gain. Brought down by Tommy Geary and Morgan Baker. Geary and Baker on the stop for the new Trier Trevians. Gain of but a yard. 2nd down and 9. A lot of time still left, though. Back to pass, over to the near side. Pass is complete, out of bounds. Ryan Spellman pushed him out of bounds, out at the 43-yard line, 42-yard line.
It'll be 3rd down, 3
3rd and 3.
Ball's on the 42-yard line.
The new Trier Trevians hoping to keep their winning streak alive. It's at 7 right now. Back to pass to the far side. It is complete. Out of bounds inside Trevian territory at the 49-yard line. Ridden out by Simon Burke.
Brought down by Simon Burke.
And it is 1st and 10 for the Maine South Hawks inside Trevian territory by a yard. Not much there. Another 2 yards.
Stopped by Brad Bauman and Peter Nutt.
2nd down. And 8. Back to pass is Shutt. Shutt throws over here to the near side. Pass is complete. 1st down. Nice little job of spinning away. Fumble on the end of it. Maine South recovers. Much to the chagrin of the new Trier coaches. But in this case, it was Maine South that recovered their own fumble and ended up picking up another extra yard on the play.
Recovered by Maine South.
1st and 10 for the Maine South Hawks. Inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. Shutt hands it off. Got nowhere.
Technical ball carrier.
Actually lost a yard.
Brought down by Jordan Kruger.
2nd down and 11.
And Brad Bauman.
2nd and 11. Matt Waddick on. They're expecting some passing from Shutt. Now that the running game has basically been shut down from the Hawks. And Shutt's not going to disappoint him. Over on the far side. Pass is complete. Touchdown, Maine South.
Touchdown, Maine South. Complete to number 3, Bob Westman.
Westman with the reception on the pass from Shutt. A little 29-yarder, making about a 30 yards. Again, the wind at the back. And now we'll have the point after coming up. Instead, they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Down by 12. The pass, near side, complete, and it is good. And before the kickoff here, Trevian's leading 19-15. We'll take a break and be right back. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network.
Mark will kick it away for Maine South. Mark Powell is deep with Ryan Spellman.
6:04 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. And Maine South has cut the lead to 4. And the wind blew the football off the tee. We'll re-tee it up and be ready to go. And again, the wind blows it off. It's about 30, 35 mile an hour wind. A 30 mile an hour wind blowing in from the north. And actually, there is a wind chill factor. tonight. And the wind got a hold of that one, and that's an automatic touchback. And the Trevians will take over on the 20-yard line. First and 10 for the New Trier Trevians on the 20. New Trier and Maine South battling for the conference championship. And a little momentum going into the playoffs. Mark Powell picks up about 2 or 3.
Brought down by Steve Chung.
We'll call it 2.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Second down and 8 for the Trevs. Second and 8 from the 22-yard line. Loddick hands it off to Tom Geary. And Geary picks up another 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
They'll bring up a 3rd down 3.
That's what I said. Got to stay up with me, Chris. Metro Chicago Sports Network. Glad to have you here on the network, wherever you are. Loddick back to pass, throws, complete to Dan Weiner. Down on his own immediately. He was down on his knees when he caught it. Let the pass complete. That gives the Trevians a first down. Out at the 32.5-yard line. If there were such a thing. And Blake McLeod, the ball carrier, picks up about 2 or 3. Make it 3. Second down, 7. Second and 7. And Powell, again, a little tentative. Maybe picked up a yard. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. No, it looks like he picked up about a yard. Powell comes off. And Tom Duda was taken off and has not returned. He actually left by the man. Now Loddick, the ball carrier, short of the first down. And it'll bring up a 4th and looks like about 1. Maybe a little bit more. And the Trevians will kick it away. So the momentum shift here a little bit, going to the Maine South Hawks. Tom Geary. The kick. And the Hawks let it roll out of bounds at the 26-yard line. First and 10 for Maine South at the 26-yard line. Just a reminder that the Trevians sports all season long here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Of course, we have basketball coming up. Only about a month away from the first basketball game here on the network. Handoff. On second and third effort, still on his feet, and finally wrestled to the ground.
Brought down by Bauman and Gary.
At about the 33, 34-yard line. Second down. And 5. Make it 2nd and 4. In motion. Handoff. Gets the first down and finally pulled down by Paul Jajorian.
Brought down by Paul Jajorian.
Good for the first down. 1st and 10 for the Maine South Hawks. Trying to gain the lead for the first time here in the game. Nutcher's been up by as much as 12. They're up now by 4. The pitch back. And met by Morgan Baker at about the 46-yard line. Finally brought down at the 47 or thereabouts. 48. He's about halfway between the two. And in motion. Handoff. And crosses into Trier territory before Jordan Kruger is able to get him to put himself down at about the 49 of the Trevians. Jordan Kruger with the tackle. Inside handoff and got nowhere. A yard at the most. Wasn't a fumble. A yard. Picked up a yard. 4th and 1. And the Maine South Hawks not going to risk anything here. Kind of a surprise. But the quarter's over, so at the end of the 3rd quarter, the Trevians leading it 19-15. And we'll be back with the 4th quarter in just a moment here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Go to the 4th quarter here. Trevians leading by 4. And 4th and 1, and Maine South going to kick it away. Well, thank you. That's something of a surprise. I would think they'd want to go for it. And the kick away. And relatively short, the wind got a hold of it. I don't know what that was about. Why on earth? And now Morgan Baker kind of talking to him. Paul, why'd you jump on the ball? Stay away from it. Relax. We're going to get it. 1st and 10 for the Trevians. Matt Loddick at quarterback for the Trevians. Loddick hands it off to Mark Powell. Powell dives across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And it will be 2nd down.
Get a 3 on the play. 2nd down, 7.
2nd and 7 for the Trevians. Loddick back to pass. Throws. Incomplete. Intended for Patrick Newmeyer. Little 8-yard pass on the roll over on the far side. And I think that the fans wanted a pass interference on him, on the Maine South player, but didn't get it. Loddick will work out of the shotgun. 3rd and 7. Lodick back to pass. In trouble, throws off balance. Complete, first down for the Trevians. Out at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Trebs. And slippery footing. But Lodick able to put enough mustard on it. Put it in the right spot. And Newmeyer with the reception. Who's the Trevians down to the, or up to the 44-yard line. Handoff, and nothing there.
Mark Paul, the ball carrier.
Mark Paul
Brought down by Randy Coach.
picked up about a yard.
No gain on the play. 2nd down, 10.
And no gain at all.
4-yard line.
2nd and 10. Well, if you go to a passing game between these two teams, it's certainly odds on with Matt Lodick. Lodick back to pass again. Lodick on the throw, overthrows, incomplete. Intended for Tom Geary.
Incomplete. It was intended for Tommy Geary. 3rd down, 10.
3rd and 10. Third and 10 for the Trevians. At the 44-yard line. Lodick again will work out of the shotgun. He's back to pass again. Now throws. Complete to Dan Weiner, who found a seam in the coverage. 1st and 10 for the Trevians at the 39-yard line of the Maine South Hawks.
For a neutral 1st down. Inside the 40-yard line of Maine South.
Well, the Trevians have a 1st down at the 39-yard line. On the move here. Lodick with the pitch back. Mark Powell. And fumble on the end of that. And we'll see. 2nd down, New Trier. New Trier with the recovery. Lasky. Powell fumbled on the end of that. And Spencer Lasky with the recovery. That'll give the Trevians 2nd down and 5. Lodick again back to pass. Lodick throws, complete, and down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Patrick Newmeyer. Nice reception. The Trevians at the 19. Lodick hands it off. Tommy Geary, or make it Blake McLeod, rumbles ahead to the 16-yard line.
By
2nd down and 7. The Trevians on the move here, trying to get and extend the lead a little bit. Extend the lead that they have. They're up by 4. A handoff, and nothing there. Mark Powell picked up a yard. 3rd and 5 for the New Trier. Powell comes out. Geary comes in. Final game of the regular season for the conference championship. Lodick, pass is complete. Got the 1st down. Not by much, but Blake McLeod with the reception.
Lodick pass is complete to Blake McLeod for a nuclear 1st down.
Trevians have a 1st and goal to go. at the 10. Or the 9, actually.
First and goal on the 10-yard line.
We'll make it the 10, okay. First and goal to go from the 10. Both Weiner and Newmeyer split to that far side. Hand off to Powell. Dances ahead and picks up about 3 or 4. Make it 4. And that'll bring up a second down and 6 from the 6 of the Maine South Hawks. The first time these two teams will meet in basketball will be at Northwestern University. Newmeyer to the near side, Weiner to the far. Lodick back to pass and pulled down back at the 10-yard line. Make it at the 11. No, it is the 10. So a sack for the Maine South Hawks at a key time here. Newmeyer split to the far side, Weiner to the near. The ball at the 10-yard line again. Lodick back to pass, throws to the far side, and he's bumped, and that's pass interference, and the Trevians going to have a first and goal to go from the 5, half the distance of the goal line, and the Maine South Hawks defender very upset about that, but he took the man and never went after the ball. Pass interference against Maine South. Matt Lodick, hand off to Powell, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Second down and 6.
Mike Kane on the stop for Maine South.
Second and 6. Kruger comes out. It has been a brisk wind all night. Nice football weather. A bit nippy for the fans. Lodick back to pass. Throws. Complete. Touchdown to Trier. Blake McLeod with the reception and the easy touchdown for New Trier. The kick is up, and it is good. And the Trevians lead 26-15. And with the Trevians leading 26-15, let's take a break. And we'll be back with more in just a moment here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Well, there you see where we are in the proceedings. All things considered, Trevians leading 26-15, and we'll kick it away. Following the touchdown, Lodick to Blake McLeod. Second touchdown pass thrown by Matt Lodick today. First one, a 45-yarder in the air. Taken at the 19 by the Maine South Hawks. They try and set up a wall. And gets up to about the 31-yard line.
Back to the 30, back down to the 30-yard line.
And it is first and 10 for the Maine South Hawks at the 31-yard line. And time is a-wasting for them.
Maine South at the 30-yard line.
So Shutt going to have to go to work here. And the Maine South Hawks to get back into striking distance. Back to pass is Shutt. Throws to the sideline, complete. Out of bounds to stop the clock. He goes out at the 36. Gain of 5, second and 5.
Shut pass is complete. to Joe Sergio.
2nd and 5.
Forced out of bounds after a gain of 4. 2nd down, 6.
That looks like 5 to me. 2nd and 5. Back to pass. Shutt looks. Throws down the sideline. Incomplete.
The pass is incomplete. It was intended for Joe Sergio.
And it is 3rd and 5 for the Maine South Hawks. 3rd and 5 for the Hawks at their own 36. Chris Shutt has had his troubles. Now he's going to take off on his own. Gets the first down and ends up with some pretty good yardage. Looks like he was down there on the first part, but they said no, and gets up to the 45-yard line of the Trevians.
First down, Maine South.
Well, looked to me like he stuck a knee down. Anyway, play continues. Now he's going to get stopped. They want a intentional grounding call. Instead, it will be merely a sack. Peter Naughton bringing him down at the 49-yard line. Now Shutt throws quickly, complete.
Pass is complete.
And that'll be 3rd down and 7.
Bring up a 3rd down 7.
3rd and 7 for the Maine South Hawks at the Trevian 42. With time wasted for the Hawks. Shutt back to pass again. Looks, throws, complete. First down. Inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line.
Tackled by Powell. 1st and 10, Maine South.
At the
On the 28-yard line.
28-yard line of the Trevs. Back to pass again is Shutt. And in trouble. Down he goes. Morgan Baker with the sack. And a timeout taken by the Maine South Hawks here. Trevians lead by 11. Shutt back to pass. Throws. Complete. And down to the 20-yard line.
Sergio brought down by Mark Powell.
And a flag down on the play. Pass interference against New Trier will give Maine South a first down. Automatic first. At the 19-yard line. First and 10 for Maine South at the 19 on the pass interference. Shot back to pass, in trouble. And brought down. Morgan Baker again.
In the backfield by Morgan Baker.
Boy, I'll tell you, out of all the players this year that I would say have improved, Morgan Baker has been the most improved. He stepped up as a linebacker this year and has done a phenomenal job.
Second down, 13.
Most improved player on this team. Shut back to pass. Shut looking. Throws. Tipped, incomplete. Tommy Geary got a fingertip or two on it.
It was intended for Deshaun Pavlovic. Third down, 13.
Third and 13 for Maine South. At the 22-yard line of the Trevs. Back to pass is Shut. Shut throws to the corner. Wide open. And knocked out of bounds by Matt Loddick. Short of the first down. And a timeout taken again by Maine South. And about 3. Back to pass. Going to go for all the marbles. Complete touchdown. Maine South. For the 2-point conversion. Mad blitz on. He's going to get caught. Nope. Kruger. And Brad Bauman there. And there you see where we are. 26-21. Left to play. And let's hope for Maine South's sake, it goes. No. Didn't go the 10 yards. And it's New Trier football.
The outside kick did not go 10 yards. It will be first down, New Trier.
Well, last time they gave it to Evanston. That Evanston tried it. This time when Maine South tried it, the Maine South Hawks didn't go the 10 yards on the onside kick, and it is New Trier football at the 48-yard line. Newmeyer Weiner to the near side, but they won't get the football the rest of the way. Mark Powell, the ball carrier, picks up about a yard, as though it matters.
Brought down by Ken Crypto.
Second down, 9. Another handoff. Powell, nice yardage.
Powell, the ball carrier.
And brings up a third down and 3. Newmeyer on a handoff. And a yard short, it looks like. Fourth down. Timeout taken by Maine South, their last. And 2 touchdowns. Got him the jump. Offside against Maine South. And that will do it. And I'm sure all Matt Loddick will do now is down that ball. Offside, Maine South.
Against the defense. It will be New Trier first down.
And that will do it. And the New Trier Trevians are going to end up conference champions here for the second year in a row, the first time in 18 years that New Trier has gone with 2 Central Suburban South Conference championships back-to-back. Wladek will down it and finish this one off. That'll do it. And the New Trier Trevians are conference champions.
Conference championship game in your 1999 conference championship, New Trier Trevians.
So this is Mark Braun. Hope you've enjoyed this broadcast. We'll see you in the playoffs. And for all of us here at the network, we say so long, everybody. Final score again, New Trier 26, Maine South 21. And the Trevians Conference champions of the Central Suburban South with a record of 8-1. They move on to the playoffs, and we say so long, everybody.